Finally, we've cracked the code. We finally found out how we could do a live-action Powerpuff Girls movie. Just look what they did with her eyes. Just get 3 pairs of those eyes and put them on 3 small children? You got yourself a Powerpuff Girls movie. Alita Battle Angel is the newest anime to live-action adaptation. This is produced by James Cameron, of course, and Robert Rodriguez directs it. And basically what this is about is that this is about this cybernetic android or whatever named Alita, and this character played by Christoph Waltz discovers her sort of neck and head and whatever, you know, the brains and whatnot, you get the gist. And basically, he makes a body for her, and she starts to discover who she really is throughout the entire film. And she also befriends a boy, and also finds out about some higher-ups people who are not really good. Yeah, I know it's a pretty bad summary, but I'm not really good at summaries. I'm only good, talking about the movies. And I will say, while I was interested in seeing Alita Battle Angel, I wasn't so sure what to expect from it because, for one, it's an anime to live-action adaptation, and even though I think they can be done really well, I think there is great potential there. And other than movies like Ghost in the Shell, which I actually thought was pretty underrated in my opinion, there are lots of other adaptations of anime that aren't so good. And even with that hurdle that this film needed to jump, it also needed to jump the director, Robert Rodriguez, who in my opinion is not a very good director. Now, I will say he did direct Sin City pretty well, but other than that, I can't really think of that many other films that he did well, because, good God, they just look so cheap. And yeah, I know that he does basically everything in those movies. Hell, if you thought Alfonso Cuarón, who directed Roma, did just about everything in that movie, directing it, writing it, producing it, doing the cinematography and the editing, yeah, if you thought that was tough, just look at Robert Rodriguez. Like, he does all of that, plus composing the movies, does the visual effects for those movies, and so much else. I mean, he really does get a lot done in his movies, but at the cost of that, they're usually just not that good. But, however, in Alita Battle Angel, he's only the director, which means he has a lot of restrictions on his hands, and I can probably say that that was for the better. I feel like when Robert Rodriguez is just directing a movie, he really lets his skills shine. I thought Alita Battle Angel was a really cool film. I thought, the characters were all really nice, the world building was really cool, and even the dialogue is not that bad either. But let me talk about some of the really big highlights. For one, the visual effects. Robert Rodriguez's films have never looked better than Alita Battle Angel. The effects used to bring Alita to life are so strangely convincing, which is weird because she has huge ass eyes, which should be a distraction, but they're not. They really do blend into her character really well. And there are times when she's just walking around and I'm like, God, I'm not seeing a lot of cracks in the CGI. I don't know how that's going to look a few years down the road, but right now, the effects on her look really damn good, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was at least in the shortlist for visual effects in next year's Oscars, or maybe a nomination. Who knows? We have to see the other movies that are going to be coming out. So yeah, hold your horses right there, but at least in the beginning of the year, we're seeing some fantastic visual effects. And Alita herself is a very compelling character. Like, she's very likable and very badass, which is something, of course, you want in an action hero. You want someone to be very likable and to be very badass. And yet, she also goes through a lot of things about, her past life or whatever. And yeah, we've seen this stuff done before, but, as I always say, just because you've done something before doesn't mean you can't bring something really amazing to the table. And I thought what they did with that Been Here Done That storyline was really good. Christoph Waltz is also really good in this movie. This isn't gonna be his 3rd Oscar, but he does try a lot in this movie. You can really see that, he's not slumming in he's not just there to be there. He's actually very good in the movie. But however, the performance that I really dug in this movie, Mahershala Ali. I don't really remember the villain's name, but good God, he makes a presence of himself. I think this is probably the first time I've seen Mahershala Ali in a legit villain role, and he plays it really well. And there's something that goes on with him during the movie that requires him to give a couple of performances. Whenever he has to switch his acting abilities, he's able to do it really well, and again, he's kind of intimidating. And this is Mahershala Ali, the guy who plays some of the most likable characters in recent media. To see him in a villainous role like this is very, very good. Could have used a little bit more of him, but you know, what we got was really cool. And the one thing that I was really worried about this movie, the part that I was gonna be like, oh god, they're introducing this, like, and it's the romance. You know, of course, Alita does meet this boy, and I was expecting this to just go into teen romance, you know, garbage, but, you know, in all honesty, they handled it pretty well. And one of the advantages of that is Alita basically, you know, seeing the world for the first time. So she doesn't really fully understand these kinds of feelings. Well, I mean, she does feel them, and it's all like, oh, what is this feeling I have? No, it's really more of, she's curious. She wants to learn more about, you know, human interaction, but it's done in such a natural way. And I feel like the chemistry she had with this boy is actually very heartfelt. And I gotta say, the action is really, really fast-paced. Like, if there's one thing anime is known for, it's very fast-paced action. And this gets it down really well. I haven't read any of the Alita mangas or whatever, but with what I'm seeing here, the action in this movie is so fast-paced. Like, it's not like kind of bouncy or whatever. Like, I don't know what's the best way to describe it. Like basically, you know, whenever she hits something or kicks something, it has an impact. Like, it's not like, you know, her fist will bounce off of anybody or whatever. No, when she digs her fist into something, it digs in there. And that's what I'm talking about. The action is very fast-paced and yet very impactful. Whenever somebody makes a hit, you feel that hit, even if the characters are completely CGI. And as I said before, the CGI really helps the action a lot. And even when the action isn't completely photorealistic, it's extremely creative and imaginative, and it just brings this world to life. I don't know if this is going to make a lot of money because people don't usually go to see anime adaptations, but at least from where I'm standing, I hope they do make more movies of this because it's just such a fascinating world, and I really like this character, Alita. She is a really great protagonist. So yeah, I am definitely recommending Alita Battle Angel. This definitely gets a yay from me. Go see it. I think it's a really awesome film. I don't know what the rest of the year has to bring, but I can tell you this, I was really satisfied with this film. So, here's the question. What do you think of Alita Battle Angel? Have you seen Alita Battle Angel? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a like. Share the video so we can get the channel circulated. Don't forget to support my Patreon on my Patreon page. Or if you can't do that, then consider supporting me through my PayPal donation button in the description below. And if you want to see more, click this.